Let me ask you something right now. How much of your life have you wasted chasing people, chasing their approval, chasing their validation, chasing their attention? How many sleepless nights, how many broken days, how much energy have you given away hoping that someone else will finally see your worth? And here's the truth: the more you chase them, the further they run. The more you beg for attention, the more invisible you become. The harder you try to prove yourself to them, the weaker you feel inside. Because when you run after them, you're no longer running your life. You're running theirs, you're handing them the keys to your power. But listen to me: the moment you stop running after them, the moment you stop begging for scraps of love, of respect, of recognition, that's the exact moment you begin to take your life back. That's the moment you stop being a follower and start becoming the leader of your own destiny. Because life is not about being chosen by others. Life is about choosing yourself. Life is not about proving your worth to people who don't see it. It's about building yourself so strong, so focused, so undeniable that the world cannot help but notice. Every second you spend running after them is a second you could have spent building you. Building your body, building your mind, building your skill, building your vision. The people who matter, the opportunities that matter, the life that matters, they don't come to the desperate. They come to the disciplined, they don't come to the needy, they come to the worthy. Think about it. When you're chasing someone, what are you saying to yourself? You're saying, I'm not enough unless they approve of me. You're saying, I don't have value unless they validate me, and that is a lie. That is a poison. That is the trap keeping you small. You don't need their permission to be powerful. You don't need their applause to be valuable. You don't need their recognition to matter. What you need is to decide that you're done giving your energy to people who don't deserve it. To decide that your time, your focus, your life belongs to you. To decide that you're going to stop running after them and start running after your destiny. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who beg for love or attention or approval. The strongest people are the ones who say, I don't need you to choose me because I already chose myself. And here's the paradox: when you finally stop chasing, when you finally stop needing, when you finally focus on your own growth and your own power, that's when the right people, the right relationships, the right opportunities start to come to you. You've been conditioned to think that you need to chase, that you need to prove, that you need to hustle for love. But what if the real truth is that everything you want starts the moment you stop running after them? The moment you plant your feet, build your foundation, and run after the life that belongs to you. So here's the question: are you ready to take your power back? Are you ready to stop chasing ghosts and start building greatness? Are you ready to stop running after them and finally run your own life? Because that's the choice that separates the broken from the powerful. That's the choice that separates those who live in fear from those who live in freedom. It's not about them anymore. It's about you, your vision, your discipline, your growth, your power. When you stop running after them, you don't lose anything. You gain everything. You gain yourself. You gain your freedom. You gain your destiny. Stop running after people. Stop begging for their attention. Stop chasing their approval. Stop twisting yourself into knots hoping someone will finally say you're enough. Because here's the truth: your worth is not up for negotiation. It's not up for debate. It's not something that gets decided by how they treat you or whether they choose you. The moment you start chasing, you're putting them on the throne of your life. You're saying, my value depends on whether or not you accept me. And that's a lie that will keep you trapped for years. Some of you right now are exhausted because you've spent your whole life trying to be good enough for someone else: your parents, your boss, your partner, your friends, strangers on social media. You bend, you break, you compromise, you lose sleep. You silence your own voice just to get a little nod of approval. But what does that do? It kills your soul, it drains your power. It takes everything that's great about you and shoves it into the shadows. Because the truth is this: when you negotiate your worth, you lose. Every single time. Your worth is not negotiable. You were born worthy. You were born enough. You were born with power inside of you. That's not something they can give you, and it's not something they can take away. And if you don't own that truth, you'll live your life on a leash. You'll keep running in circles like a dog, chasing after scraps of attention while starving for real fulfillment. Let me tell you something: people will only value you as much as you value yourself. If you keep running after them, if you keep showing them that their attention is the oxygen you need to breathe, then don't be surprised when they treat you like you're disposable. Because here's the paradox: the more you chase, the less they respect you. The more you beg, the less they listen. The more you prove, the less they believe in you. So what do? You stop. You plant your feet. You say, "This is who I am, this is my worth, this is my standard, take it or leave it." That's power. That's when everything changes, because when you know your worth, you don't chase people anymore. You attract them. You draw in the right people, the right opportunities, the right energy, not because you begged for it, but because you stood so strong in who you are that the world had no choice but to respond. I'll give you an example. Think about the most powerful leaders, the most magnetic people, the most successful individuals you know. Are they chasing people? Are they begging for validation? No, they've decided. They've declared their worth. They've built themselves to a level where they don't need to convince anyone. Their presence alone demands respect. And you can be that too, but only when you stop negotiating. Stop negotiating with people who don't see your value. Stop lowering your standards to fit into places that were never meant to hold your greatness. Stop watering yourself down to make someone else feel comfortable. That's not selflessness. That's self-sabotage. And here's the key: you have to decide. You have to decide that your worth is non-negotiable. That means you stop explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to understand you. That means you stop trying to prove yourself to people who are committed to not seeing your greatness. That means you stop waiting for someone else to crown you, and you put the crown on your own damn head. Because the moment you stop running after people, something inside of you ignites. Confidence rises, power rises, energy rises. Suddenly you're not desperate anymore. You're decisive. You're not needy anymore. You're focused. You're not chasing anymore. You're building. And let me tell you, the people who matter, the people who respect strength, the people who see greatness, they're drawn to that. They're drawn to people who know their worth. They're drawn to people who stand tall, who speak with clarity, who act with certainty, and the ones who don't, let them walk, let them go, because they were never meant to be part of the life you're building anyway. So stop running after people. Stop begging. Stop negotiating. Your worth is not a bargain sale. It's not up for grabs. It's not dependent on their opinion. Your worth is your foundation. Your worth is your power. And when you finally own it, you'll never need to chase again. The moment you stop chasing them, you start chasing your vision. That shift changes everything. When your energy is wrapped around trying to get them to see you, love you, approve of you, you've already abandoned yourself. You've taken your focus, your greatest power, and you've handed it over to someone else. And let me tell you, most of the time, they don't even know what to do with it. Think about it. Every hour you spend obsessing about what they think of you, you could have spent building your dream. Every ounce of energy you pour into proving yourself to people who don't value you, you could have poured into becoming stronger, wiser, wealthier, happier. But instead, you're drained, you're stuck, you're spinning your wheels, and then you wonder why you're not moving forward. It's because you're running the wrong race. You're chasing the wrong target. Let me wake you up right now. People are not your finish line. Approval is not your finish line. Attention is not your finish line. Your finish line is your vision. It's the life you know deep inside you were born to live. That vision, not them, is what you should be chasing. Because when you chase your vision, everything changes. You become magnetic. You become powerful. You become unstoppable. The truth is, you can't chase two things at once. You can't chase people and chase purpose at the same time. One of them is always going to lose. And every time you run after them, your vision gets left behind. Every time you chase their approval, your dream dies a little more. But the moment you say, I'm done begging, I'm done proving, I'm done waiting for permission, from now on, my energy, my time, my focus is on my vision, that's when life shifts, that's when doors open, that's when the momentum kicks in. You see, people can walk away, they can ignore you, they can reject you, they can misunderstand you, but your vision, that can't be taken from you. That's yours, that's your gift, that's your calling, that's your fire, and when you feed it, when you give it your full attention, it grows, it expands, it multiplies. Some of you right now are starving your own dream because you're too busy feeding someone else's ego. You're too busy trying to make them happy. You're too busy making sure you fit in, but fitting in is overrated. Approval is overrated, attention is overrated. You know what's not overrated? Living a life you're proud of. Walking into your purpose, building something that outlives you, that's what matters. And here's the irony when you stop chasing them and start chasing your vision. The very people you wanted to impress will start to notice. Why? Because results speak louder than begging. Success is the ultimate attention grabber. You don't need to scream for respect. Build your vision and respect will follow. But here's the deal, you've got to get obsessed. You've got to become more obsessed with your vision than you ever were with people's opinions. You've got to wake up every day and ask yourself, what can I do today to move one step closer to my dream? Not, what can I do to get them to like me? That's a small life, and you weren't born for a small life. So what do? You refocus. You rip your energy back from the people you've been chasing, and you reinvest it in your vision. You set goals so big they scare you. You push yourself harder than you ever thought possible. You stop living reactive to what people say and start living proactive to what you're building. Because when your life is about vision, everything else takes its place. The wrong people fall away. The right people come in. Opportunities start showing up. But none of that happens while you're still chasing. It only happens when you shift. I want you to let that sink in. Because too many of you right now are living locked up in a cell you built with your own hands. And the bars of that prison, they're made of other people's opinions, their approval, their validation, their applause. You're standing there waiting for someone to tell you you're enough, to tell you you're worthy, to tell you you're valuable. And while you're waiting, your life is passing you by. Let me tell you the truth. Approval is one of the biggest addictions on this planet. Bigger than alcohol, bigger than drugs, bigger than any substance. Because at least with those, people admit they're addicted. With approval, most people don't even realize they're hooked. They think they're being nice. They think they're being considerate. They think they're just trying to fit in. No, they're enslaved. Here's what happens when you live for approval. You start making decisions not based on your vision, not based on your purpose, but based on what you think will make other people happy. You silence your voice so theirs can be louder. You shrink your dreams so you don't intimidate them. You hold yourself back so they won't criticize you. That's not living. That's dying slowly. That's handing over your freedom. And here's the part you don't realize. Approval never lasts. Even if you get it, you'll wake up the next day needing more. You'll be stuck in the cycle like a hamster on a wheel running, chasing, working for someone else's validation. It's exhausting, it's endless, it's a trap, but purpose is freedom. When you wake up and you know why you're here, you don't need applause. You don't need validation. You don't need someone to pat you on the back. You're not chasing their approval anymore, you're chasing your mission. You're building your life based on your values, not their opinions. That's freedom. Think about it. The people who have changed the world didn't do it because everybody approved. They did it because they were so driven by purpose, approval didn't even matter. If you live for approval, you'll die with regret. But if you live for purpose, you'll die with fulfillment. Here's the shift. Stop asking, do they like me? Do they support me? Do they approve of me? Start asking, am I living in alignment with my purpose? Am I moving closer to my vision? Am I proud of the person I'm becoming? Because that's what freedom feels like. And I know some of you right now are scared. You're thinking, If I stop caring about approval, people will leave me. And you're right, some will. The ones who only stuck around because you bent over backwards for them, the ones who only valued you for what you could do for them, they'll disappear. But that's not a loss, that's a gain, because when you walk in your purpose, the people who truly matter will show up. The right people will find you. The prison of approval is full of people who never tapped into their greatness. It's full of people who lived small because they were scared of being judged. Don't let that be you. Don't let your life be wasted trying to please people who don't even know who they are. Purpose is freedom. It gives you energy, it gives you clarity, it gives you power. When you're living with purpose, you don't need someone to clap for you, you're already on fire. And when you're on fire, the whole world sees it. So I want you to make a decision right now. Are you going to keep living in the prison of approval, waiting for permission to be great? Or are you going to step into freedom, claim your purpose, and live with passion? Approval is a prison, purpose is freedom, and the moment you choose purpose over approval, you unlock the cage, you walk free, you start living life on your terms, and nothing, no opinion, no rejection, no criticism can ever chain you again. How many of you right now feel tired? Not tired in your body, but tired in your soul. You keep giving, you keep running, you keep chasing, and no matter how hard you try, it's never enough. You text, you call, you check, you follow up, you bend over backwards to prove your worth. And deep down, you feel empty. That's because chasing people is an energy leak. It's like trying to fill a bucket with holes in it. No matter how much water you pour, it's never full. Let me tell you something, energy is life. The way you use your energy determines the quality of your life. When you spend your energy chasing people, you're literally draining yourself of the fuel you need to create, to grow, to thrive. You're pouring your fire into someone else's hands, hoping they'll keep it burning for you. But here's the truth, they can't, and most of the time they won't. Think about it. When you chase someone's attention, you're not standing in your power, you're begging. You're lowering yourself to the level of a beggar when you were born to be a builder. And what happens when you beg for love, for validation, for recognition? You get crumbs, and crumbs will never satisfy the hunger inside you. But when you shift that same energy into building yourself, everything changes. Because building yourself doesn't drain you, it fuels you. Growth creates energy. Progress creates momentum. Every time you learn something new, every time you push past a limit, every time you take a step toward your vision, you're fueling your soul. You're charging your own battery instead of waiting for someone else to plug you in. Let me ask you, what would happen if you took all the energy you're wasting on chasing people, proving your worth, begging for approval, and you invested it into building yourself? Into building your body, your mind, your skills, your character, your future. You'd become unstoppable. Because people can reject you, ignore you, abandon you, but they can't take away what you've built within yourself. Chasing people is a losing game. You can't control them. You can't control their opinions. You can't control their choices. But you can control you. You can control your growth. You can control your habits. You can control the way you show up every single day. And when you do that consistently, people will notice. You won't have to chase them, they'll be drawn to you. There's a reason why successful people don't run after others. They don't have time to chase because they're too busy building. They're too busy growing. They're too busy becoming. And that's exactly why people are drawn to them. Because strength attracts. Confidence attracts. Growth attracts. Some of you need to hear this. You are tired not because life is too heavy, but because you're carrying what was never yours to carry. You're carrying the weight of other people's approval. You're carrying the weight of trying to hold relationships together that should have ended a long time ago. You're carrying the weight of trying to convince people of your worth when you should be proving it to yourself. That's why you're drained. But when you build yourself, you don't feel heavy, you feel alive. You feel charged. You feel powerful. Building yourself is the fuel that keeps you going even when no one's clapping, even when no one's watching, even when no one's supporting. Because you know you're becoming someone stronger, wiser, unstoppable. So I want you to make a decision right now. Stop giving your energy away to people who don't value it. Stop pouring fuel into fires that were never meant to burn. Take that energy back, redirect it, build your body stronger, build your mind sharper, build your vision bigger, build your life higher. Chasing people drains you, building yourself fuels you. And when you're fueled, you don't need to run after anyone because your fire will be so strong. The right people will feel it, see it, and be drawn to it.